what do you wish someone had told you when you were at this point, right? What are the pitfalls that you ran into? What are the things that you didn't expect? Like, what was the unexpected piece that, thanks to your experience, we can now expect?
I can jump in there on that. I think, at least from a government perspective, I don't think, I wish somebody had told me that what you're planning to do is not normal, and you're gonna encounter things you did not anticipate, and you don't know what you're getting into. I mean, I think that's really I mean, and I say that from someone, I'm on a stakeholder group within our own state who's working on trying to improve like data capabilities across other government levels, and that's a common theme. I mean, most people who are getting into this in the last few years, and now, I mean, it's just there's nothing standardized. There's a lot of perceptions that you have to overcome, and you got to do a lot of convincing, and it's really a challenge at every level, honestly. But I think it's worth it personally, because if you don't do it, you're wasting all that information and the capabilities that exist there. The technology is there to help you get there. It's just a matter of having the will and the want and the resources to do it.
Adrienne, I saw you come off mute.
Yeah, I mean, well, I have to credit where credit is due. I actually came to EEC once our system was already up and rolling. So I stand on the shoulders of lots of folks who I think learned a lot along the way. But I think we talked about this already, but just the sort of building the straw person and iterating over time. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect to provide valuable insight. And in fact, sometimes it's the sort of imperfections that drive the thinking about how to iterate and improve over time. And so I think that's been a big learning. And then I think the other piece is that talking to folks about data that comes out of a model is hard, right? Like, I think folks are used to saying, there are 4,322 children who have X characteristic, and they can go in the data system and see who those 4,322 children are. And I think talking to folks, and I think it's the model nature of this work that is so powerful, but it sort of requires a little bit of a mindset shift in bringing other folks along on that journey to sort of to help folks understand how this model is built and what its power is. But I think has been a learning experience for me, for sure. And I think for others at our agency as well.
Yeah, I would agree with what Woody and Adrienne have said. I think in addition, as we're learning, there's so much technical learning that needs to happen, and there are a lot of technical folks at the table doing the data work. But in terms of the ways we're going to use the data and the questions we're going to answer, that involves deep engagement with our policy and program folks. And so I think just the understanding, I wish I would have had the understanding at the beginning, the depth to which we would need to bring those folks along in our conversations. This is not just a technical exercise.